Last video, I talked about getting and modding a PS Vita. That was around a week after I actually got it, and I never really had time to do everything I wanted on it. It's now been around a month since that video, and I have some new things to talk about with this console. First, let's talk about some of the games I've played and really enjoyed on the Vita. First off, Minecraft. This is probably the game I've played the most so far on this console. I play Minecraft a lot, especially on Java Edition, but this is a really nice change of pace. My personal favorite part of Minecraft is building, and it's interesting to build without some of the newer blocks like lanterns or stonecutters, for example. Also, I accidentally found a stronghold literally right next to my base, which was kinda crazy. Another game I've been enjoying is Hatsune Miku Project Diva F. I'm a huge fan of rhythm games and I'm usually pretty good at them, but Project Diva is pretty hard, which isn't a bad thing in my opinion. I mean, hey, this game has everything. It's a rhythm game, you can buy cool stuff for your skin, features great music, has Hatsune Miku. This is Fortnite, isn't it? Another game I'd like to mention is an indie title called Hue. This is a pretty unique puzzle game with a mechanic of choosing colors to make different items and platforms appear. It's pretty good and pretty underrated in my opinion. Of course, you can't talk about 2010's PlayStation without Little Big Planet. Little Big Planet is a 2.5D platform with its own story levels and plenty of user-made online levels as well, of course with its own level creator too. Unfortunately, the Little Big Planet Vita servers were taken down a few years back, but the modding community came up with a solution to bring back their own servers, similar to how Miiverse on the Wii U and 3DS was revived by modders after being shut down. I've never personally been a huge fan of Little Big Planet, especially since I was always an Xbox and Nintendo kid, but I can still see why people love it so much. Another 2D platform I've been playing on the Vita is Rayman Origins. This is my first Rayman game and I have to say, it's pretty good. I really enjoy the platforming in it and I love its style as well. Switching gears a bit, some of the most popular ports on the Vita are the PS2 era Grand Theft Auto games, including GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas. I chose to play San Andreas first, and it runs amazing on the Vita. It feels like an official port that was meant to run on there. While these games were originally on the PS2, they have to just use the mobile version of the games to be able to port them, and there isn't any kind of PS2 emulator on the Vita. Speaking of emulators, RetroArch is an emulator that can run many consoles, including the SNES and Game Boy Advance. These are the two that I tried out, and it looks really great, especially the GBA. The Vita has a way bigger and better screen than the Game Boy Advance, which makes these games look so much better. Like its predecessor, the PSP, the Vita is pretty good for consuming media. I put a few albums on it, which worked as you'd expect. I also threw a couple movies on the Vita, which actually look really good. For a console that has an only 544p screen, it feels basically HD. You can't stream any movies or TV onto the Vita though. You have to use an MP4 rip from a DVD or by other means. I mentioned last time that I had gotten a 256GB SD card for the Vita, and after downloading over 30 games and putting some music and movies onto it, I've only used about 50GB, which is only a fifth of my SD card. Since I've only had my Vita for a month, I've installed a ton of games that I still need to get to playing. I was surprised to see that Jet Set Radio has an official Vita port from Sega. I've been wanting to play this game for a bit, so hopefully it's pretty good. Something that you can't do without modding is PC streaming via Moonlight. Moonlight is an app that streams your PC screen to whatever device you want over Wi-Fi, like your phone, 3DS, Wii U, and of course, PS Vita. It also turns your device into a controller as well, meaning you can stream PC games to your Vita and play them from anywhere around your house. I have pretty decent Wi-Fi and there was barely any delay, which makes it really playable. I've had my Vita for a month now, which means I've taken it on the go quite a bit. Personally, whenever I go on long car rides, I never really do much on my phone except for listening to music sometimes. Since I've had my Vita, I really like playing games on it during these car rides now. It's better than listening to the Muppets movie soundtrack on loop. This console has pretty much replaced my 3DS entirely after I got it. I've even brought it to school to play during free periods sometimes. I can tell that this is going to last a very long time for me, and it is a really great console. Thanks so much for watching. I'm really glad that you guys like my last PS video so much. It's now my most popular video on the channel. I really like some of your guys' stories about the PS Vita as well. It's really cool to see so much support for a console that gets really underappreciated. Feel free to continue leaving your experiences with the Vita in the comments as well. I do actually like reading them. With the announcement of the Switch 2 coming out, I'm heavily considering modding my launch model Switch from 2017, since it's notoriously easy to mod. So maybe expect to see a video about that too. Don't forget to like and subscribe, ring that bell while you're at it, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.